Hello guys, today I'll show you how to change your front brake pads on this is a 2012 BMW X5 diesel or chassis code E70. First we're going to need to get to the brake fluid reservoir. Usually it's on the driver's side where the brake pedal is. Maybe in the UK it's on the other side, I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna have to take this off, and you can see it's sitting right there because we're gonna need to uncap the cover so that when we compress the calipers to make room for the new pads, the fluid level is gonna go up actually, and you don't want it to be closed up. It might crack your reservoir, so you want it to be open, and the fluid might come out and might actually overflow, but we'll be able to see and assess that once we get to see it actually. So let's go ahead and remove this. It's probably 12 millimeter here or something. You have to undo this here, just like a half turn or something like that. You'll feel it, and then remove this, and there's one over there as well, and then we'll get to see. All right, so after doing the nuts, these are 13 millimeters. Let's see. Okay, so it should be this way, and then that. And then here's the brake reservoir. It's just an inspector out. You can see the level here. Focus is annoying. So anyway, there's the max here, and there's the minimum. It's somewhere in between. That's fine. So once we press the calipers, it might go up here, it might go a little more. We'll see. Just go ahead and crack it open. You don't want debris to come in. Just keep it open a little bit. All right. Since the caliper is here, it's going to be easy to have the wheel turn this way, because we're going to be working with the nuts and bolts here. It's going to be a little easier. So I'm going to have to jack the car a little bit, undo these nuts, remove the wheel, and then remove 2 bolts on the caliper. It's a really simple procedure. All right, I'll be back with you. Now that we remove these bolts, go over the parts real quickly. I got TRW Ultra here. This is the brake pad sensor. Mine is broken, so you need a new one. It's I think $15 or something like that. Yeah. So remove this. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it off, so you want to give it a kick. I would also sort of like either mark or memorize where the wheel was, so you can put it back in the same way. So we know here the Continental is right up here. Sort of like the N is right where the control arm is. All right, so now we give it a kick. One more here. There we go. And here. All right, we're gonna need some lights, I think. And you can see there's a little bit left here. We're gonna need a metal brush to brush around here, and I usually put some DW40 so it won't corrode, and this sticks to it. We're gonna have to brush that part as well. Anyways, let's get cracking on this. Should be rather simple. We have see here, we have this bolt, another one here. Those are basically the bolts that the caliper sort of like slides on, as you can see when it presses the force. So when we put the new brake pad, this will be here closer. There's a bracket here, a metal bracket. We're gonna need a screwdriver or a small pry bar to remove this. We're gonna have to hang it somewhere around here. So have a hanger handy so that it's not gonna damage your brake lines, leaving it alone. All right, so let's get some tools. I'll see what size this is. I'm not really 100% sure, but we'll find out. All right, so you pop these caps. off. And then it's actually an Allen socket. It's size 7. This thing zooms in. Yep, size 7. So you just put it here, and then, you know, righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? So we have to crack it the other way. So let's go ahead and do that. Might need some sort of an extension to get some leverage, or if you have a long socket, that's long wrench, sorry, that'd be helpful. Anyways, you see now why we angled the wheel like this. It is just gonna make stuff a little bit easier to work versus if it was like that straight and you're limited visibility and all that. Anyways, let me remove the 2 bolts. I'll be back with you. All right, so now that these are loose, what we want to do now, so now the caliper is being held by this bracket here. So as you can see here, this bracket uses force on these 2 arms on this bracket. So this bracket is separate than the caliper. The caliper sort of like rides on this bracket, right? This bracket goes on the knuckle through 2 big bolts right here, and another one down there. And then this here basically holding the caliper down from like this area, and then these 2 holes here, and applying force on the bracket, so it's holding it up together. Okay, so now after bringing it out, you can see how it actually works. So you can see this hook here and hook here, sort of like hooks on the inside of this, and then these 2 here apply pressure on the outside here. So the correct way to actually take it off is to actually press from here, pressing on it and then sliding it out. It flew a little bit, just be careful, because again I was using 1 hand, but with 2 hands you can just keep like something here, or keep, you know, holding it with something, and then just remove it gently. All right, for ease of removal of the caliper, just remove these bolts, like start pushing on them from here while undo them, you know, they'll come off. Here they are. As you can see, the caliper sort of slides on this as the pad wears out. And now you can just slowly pull this out. If it's not coming up out, just use a pry bar, like so, and from the bottom. Alright, see it's slowly coming out. Alright, so now you can see we tied this thing from here using 2 zip ties. So as you can see here now, the caliper is right here. There is a rubber boot that covers the cylinder, the shaft of the thing, and then this is the caliper press. What do you call this? Has a name. Sort of like phasing out on this. Piston, yes. So this is the piston, right? And the boot is in pretty great shape. So the way we tell if it's great, like in good shape, no rust, no nothing, is when you compress it back. So before we put the new pads, we have to compress it back. As you can see, the inner pad sort of like has a bracket that sits inside. So when you take it out, you know, you can see here the brake pad material is pretty slim, just right on time. And same with the inner one. So the inner one is a little more worn out than the outer one, because that's where, you know, the pressure more, I guess. But anyways, we're gonna have to press it in, and to press it in, we're gonna need to use this thingy. Now you can rent a brake pad caliper press from AutoZone or something, you know. But I don't do that. You can see here is a flat surface here. All we have to do is just press it in. If it comes back in with no problems, like smooth and everything is good, there's no need to rebuild any of this part here. A lot of people just buy a rebuild kit and rebuild this. There's no need for that at all. The boot is in great shape. No contaminant will be there. I wouldn't even bother checking inside. So let's go ahead and press this guy in. All right, we rigged it this way. Let's go ahead and start pressing, squeezing here, and see it coming back in. So when I told you the fluid will come up again, it's gonna come up again because when this is being compressed, the fluid that's sitting in this here is gonna go back up. So let's go ahead and I don't know how much fluid resides in this. As you can see, it's, don't worry, it's not being damaged. Let's go ahead and inspect the boot over here. It's in pretty good shape. Let's continue the pressing and all the way in. All right. As you can see, it's pressed all the way. That's great. Now let's check the brake fluid. Let's see what happened. And as expected, as you can see, the fluid has risen to the max level and even above the max level. All right, so let's remove the, as you can see, this is very simple. It's a brake pad, sits like this. All right, so open the package here. As you can see, there's a booklet here or whatever, sticker. The brackets actually came with it, so that's pretty nice. You don't need to reuse the old ones, but you could if you want. But they are exactly really the same. That's pretty cool. Anyways, here's the grease that came with the pads. I bought a little extra, but it says here where to put it. You can just dab it a little bit here, and here, here, and here, and the bolts as well. I'm gonna clean them up a little bit. What you want to do is you want to like gently start cleaning. You know, here, make a mess in your garage floor. Anyways, and here, and clean this side while you're at it. Yeah, this is definitely crap. You have to get a new one here for these, and yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so you can see now we applied the grease on the brake pad here, on the caliper here, and it doesn't really matter on this side here, it's okay. And here, see, a little bit, here and here. And we still need to grease the bolts. Just want to clean them up a little bit with the brush, and then put some grease and then put it in. All right, so we put the caliper back right now. Just see, no bolts yet, but see they lined up over there. Let's put the bolts on, clean them up. As you can see, they're all cleaned up here. Just put some grease. Clean this as much as you can. And then let's just show you the grease that I'm using. That's the grease, green grease. That's what I'm gonna use on these bolts. All right. As you can see, everything is back together. No problems, no fuss. The brake pads fit perfectly. As you can see, we grease it up here, here. Put back the bolts, greased up as well. Make sure you close the caps for dust and debris not to come in, especially water. And then now I'm gonna just turn on the car a little bit. Press the brake pedal a few times. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of space. And then make sure this is coming in. And go on the other side. All right, now we have the wheel off. And you can see these pads have a little bit more meat. You can see the brake pad sensor here. You can see. There it is. So that's that. Now we just take off the two bolts, etc., etc. I'll show you how to put this back on. It's really simple. But anyways, all right. You can see The other caliper is pressed in, and as expected, this went up all the way and overflowed. So just cleaning up the side a little bit. We're gonna have to take some out of it. Alrighty, so everything is buttoned up here. Now we need to replace the sensor. Here's a new one. How it looks like. You can see it's got a bump here, and this thing zooms. So this side has to be in, and you can see how it's got this here. So this will come on top of the fluid plug here. So anyways, this goes in like that on the pad, and then you route this the same way. So I left the thing hanging on it on purpose so I can route it piece by piece. You understand? And not get lost. And then here in the box, this side, the right side. Okay. There we go. Opens like this. Voila. And you can see my trick here a little bit. I just took a paper clip and jammed it into the thingies just to trick the car that I have a good brake pad sensor for a while. Anyways, just route it same way the old one is. Plug it in, and you're good to go. You should be good to go. And you can see here the gap. So we're gonna have to get in the car, turn it on, whatever, press the pedal, and then decrease the fluid down to somewhere here, okay, below the max. And that's about it. Go for a drive. There is a process called the brake pad bedding, which is bedding the brake pad's surface to the rotor surface. Basically, you drive around 60-70 miles per hour and come to a complete stop, and you repeat this process 4 to 5 times. Anyways, this concludes the front brake pad replacement on this E70 X5. Please leave questions, leave comments, and I'll see you next video. The brake pad reset, if you have it on, or brake fluid reset, you can do it from the cluster. I may have a video for that. If not, plenty of videos on YouTube. I think I recorded one. I'll probably post it as well. Anyways, see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. Right, all buttoned up. Pressed the pedal, went down a little bit, took fluid out. Now we're below the max. That's great. This is how much fluid came off. I put it in a glove. I don't have anything else on hand right now. But yeah, you can see the fluid is not super dirty, but it's not super clean at the same time. So it's definitely time to flush. At least it's coming on the computer very soon.